Hi guys, this is O-Level Chemistry paper 12, November 2016, question 31. Electrical energy can be generated using simple cell as shown. Okay. Which pair of metals when used as electrodes will give the largest reading on the voltmeter? So these would be metals with the greatest difference in reactivity. So sodium and lead. Yes, there is significant difference according to the reactivity series. Magnesium and copper, they also have a significant difference. But the third one, potassium and silver. Potassium is right in the beginning and silver is right at the end. So there is maximum difference in reactivity between these two metals. And we compare the fourth one, sodium and potassium. This is the one with the least difference in reactivity. So out of the four sets of metals given, the one with the greatest difference in reactivity is potassium and silver, making option C the correct option for this question. Question 32. When reacted with an excess of dilute hydrochloric acid, 0.002 moles of a metal M liberated 48 centimeter cube of hydrogen measured at RTP. Which equation is correct for this reaction? So the moles of metal is 0.002 and the moles of hydrogen can be calculated by dividing 48 by 24,000 cm cube, which is the volume of 1 mole of any gas at RTP. This gives us a value of 0.002 moles. So the ratio of metal M with hydrogen gas is 0.002 is to 0.002, which is the same as 1 is to 1. Therefore, in the equation, 1 mole of metal M would produce 1 mole of hydrogen gas. So, in option A, we've got 2 moles of metal M producing 1 mole of hydrogen. So, this is incorrect. In the second option, we've got 1 mole of metal M producing 1 mole of hydrogen atoms, which is also incorrect. In the third case, we have 1 mole of metal M producing 1 mole of hydrogen gas. This is what we calculated. And in the fourth case, we have 1 mole of metal M producing 2 moles of hydrogen atoms, which is also incorrect. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option C. Question 33. The diagram shows a section of a polymer. Okay, so this is the repeat unit, which is being repeated 3 times in the given structure. Which alkene is used to make this polymer? So the alkene that would make this polymer would have two carbon atoms with a double bond between them, one having two hydrogen atoms on it, the other having a C2H5 group on it and a hydrogen on it. So now, in order to condense this displayed formula, we would have CH2, then we would have double bonded CH, and then we would have, because it is C2H5, so this would be converted into CH2 and CH3. So this is the condensed form of the alkene that is used to produce this polymer. So now we compare this with the structures given. So A is not this structure, B is this structure. We start from CH2 double bond, then we have a CH followed by CH2 and CH3. So B is this exact structure. C has more carbon atoms than in our structure, so C is also incorrect. And D has a double bond right in the center of the structure, which is not the case with the monomer that we made. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option B. Question 34. The table shows some atmospheric pollutants and their possible effects. Which row is not correct? CFCs cause depletion of the ozone layer. This is correct. CO2 forms photochemical smog. No, CO2 is not a contributor to photochemical smog. It is a greenhouse gas. So this effect of CO2 is incorrect. Carbon monoxide is poisonous to humans. Yes, It binds with hemoglobin and prevents the uptake of oxygen. Nitrogen dioxide forms acid rain. Yes, it is the catalyst in acid rain formation. So the gas with the wrong effect is carbon dioxide, making option B the correct option for this question. Question 35. Which compound is the most viscous and the least flammable? So viscosity depends on the mass of the compound. The greater the mass, the more viscous the alkane and the least flammable that compound. So we have got four different alkanes here, all of which are liquids because liquid alkanes start with 5 carbon atoms and go up until 17 carbon atoms. So we calculate the MR for each, and even if we don't, we just look at the length of the carbon chain. The one with the longest carbon chain will have the most viscous uh, fluidity and it will be the least flammable. So option A has 6 carbon atoms, B has 8, C has 10, D has 12. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option D. Question 36. How many moles of ethanoic acid react with 1 mole of magnesium? Magnesium forms the cation Mg2 positive. It binds to two ethanoate ions because the ethanoate ion CH3COO minus has a charge of -1. So two negative ions would bind to one Mg2 positive ion. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option B. Question 37. Which with which substance will ethene react and form more than one product? Ethene will not react with argon. With hydrogen, ethene will react to form ethane only. With oxygen, ethene will undergo combustion producing CO2 and H2O. And with steam, ethene will react to form ethanol only. So the one with more than one product is the reaction with oxygen, which is combustion, and it produces CO2 and H2O, making option C the correct option for this question. Question 38. Which statement about isomers of a compound is always correct? They have different empirical formula. No, they have the same empirical formula because they have the same molecular formula. Next, they have different relative molecular mass. If they have the same molecular formula, then they would have the same molecular mass. They have only carbon and hydrogen in their molecules. No, any atoms can be present. A compound with only carbon and hydrogen is called a hydrocarbon. They have the same molecular formula. Yes, this is always correct. They have the same molecular formula. So this makes option D the correct option for this question. Question 39. How many of the structures show an unsaturated hydrocarbon molecule? Unsaturated hydrocarbon molecule. Okay, so compound 1 is unsaturated but is not a hydrocarbon. Compound 2 is an alkane, so it is not unsaturated. Compound 3 is an alkene, so it is an unsaturated hydrocarbon. And compound 4 is a carboxylic acid, so it is not an unsaturated hydrocarbon. So only one out of the four given structures is an unsaturated hydrocarbon, making option A the correct option for this question. Question 40. Which type of polymer is made by reacting amino acids together? So amino acids are monomers for the condensation polymer called proteins, and proteins are polyamides. So an addition polymer, no. A carbohydrate, no. A polyamide, yes. Proteins are polyamides. A polyester, no. Therefore, Option C is the correct option for this question.